If you're thinking about selling your house anytime soon, please take a minute to listen to this so you can avoid making some huge seller mistakes. People make these mistakes all the time, especially in this market, and I want to go through it with you. I'm Dino the Realtor. Now let's get into it. The number one thing that I want to go through, and I go through it first on purpose, and it's because it's very important in this specific market. Do not overprice your home. I understand you're trying to get to a bottom line number. You're trying to get the best possible deal on your house. Everybody is. But if you really want to get the best number, overpricing your house may not be the best thing to do. We're in a climate right now where homes have been sitting on the market for a very long time. Sellers aren't happy with the fact that their houses are sitting for 2 months right now. And in a lot of cases, it's because they were overpriced. And in so many of these cases, about 40% here in the Baltimore area, people are dropping their prices. Now, what happens when you drop your price? The sharks come out. People smell fear and they try to give you the biggest lowball offers possible. Now, how can you avoid that? You set the price at something that's reasonable. People know where the market is. People know what your house should sell for. Give them a little bit of a deal to get them through the door. The whole goal is to get as many people to walk through your door once that property's listed as possible. Now, you're going to scare a lot of people by overpricing it. So if you put that price at a range that gets people interested, all of a sudden, you're starting to see a whole bunch of people coming in, checking it out. You have that open house, tons of traffic. And then within the first week, you might have 5, 6, 7 offers, and you might be over that asking price that you thought was real conservative in the beginning. You may end up having even more money on the table for yourself than you would have if you would have tried to list it even higher. So you don't want to make that mistake, because like I said, you don't want to go into a situation where you price too high and then you're dropping price and then you're dropping price and then the sharks come out. It's the last thing that you want to do. So please do not overprice your listing. The second thing that I want to go through is not to rush the process. A lot of people don't realize by the time you get your house on the market, it has to be ready to go. It has to be ready to show. And when I say it has to be ready to show, you have to go through the whole process of decluttering and turning your house into a staged situation in a lot of cases to where people can walk through and be able to see the house as their own. Some people think I can get this stuff out of here in a week, only to get into that process to throw their hands up in the air a week down the road and say, there's no way. There's no way we're going to have this house ready to show in the next couple days. That's why I try to always tell people, give yourself at least 30 days from the time that you want to list a property to the time it hits the market. You got to remember, there have to be all types of professional things done like photos and videos, and your house has to be ready before that stuff can be done. So you have to make sure you're giving yourself enough time. Also, if you give yourself enough time, you can start to build interest through a marketing plan that your real estate agent should have in place for you. That way, when the property actually does hit the market, people can be excited to come and see it. People can be excited to come set up showings on that property. But if you have no time to build interest, that's not good. So give yourself enough time in the process to build interest, and that should be very helpful to you down the road through this process. The next mistake that people make, and it's a huge one, is they hire agents that don't lay out their marketing plan. You should never have to ask your agent what their marketing plan is. They should be laying that out for you up front. That's the difference between dealing with a real estate agent and a real estate professional. A real professional is going to walk you down the process from the very beginning to make sure you understand all the value that they're bringing to make sure that they sell your house. When we talk about a professional listing, we're talking about everything. They're going to do everything from, of course, the little things like social media and print media, but they're going to do things like have a 3D tour. They're going to take professional photos. They're going to take a video of the property. They're going to make sure that it's put out on all the platforms, whether it be Redfin or Zillow or all the ones across the board. It's got to be a multi-tiered marketing attack to sell your property. And you want to make sure that you're dealing with somebody that's going to make that happen. In so many cases, You're dealing with agents that truly want your business. There are a ton of agents out here, a ton of people that are going to try to win your business, but they're not necessarily going to have the resources to market your property the way it needs to be marketed for you to receive top dollar on it. So it's something to keep in mind. Make sure that that red flag doesn't come up right in the beginning where you have no idea what they're doing to market your property. One of the wildest ones, and one of the ones that I think is the most important, do not ever refuse showings. Don't refuse showings ever during this showing period of your house. And here's why. You don't know if you're going to have 20 showings on your house in the first week, 5 or 0. And you have to understand, these showings are absolute gold. Your goal is to sell your house for the right price in the right amount of time. Now, if you're not accepting showings, that one person that couldn't get into your house, that moved on to the next one, maybe that person was ready to buy. Maybe that was the perfect buyer for your house, and you refused that appointment, and now they moved on to the next one. And now you're sitting here waiting for the right buyer, and it takes you another 30, 60 days to find the right person. You might have already dropped price because of a mistake like that. You have to make sure that you're available to get out of the property. Now, some people want to stick around while the showings are going on. You can't do that. These people need to make sure that they can see this house as their own. And there's no way they're going to do that with no privacy. They have to look around. They don't want to feel like anybody's looking over their shoulder. I understand it's your home. You want to make sure everything's safe and protected. But during this process, you just have to understand from the beginning, people are going to be coming into your house. They're going to be checking things out. You can't be there during that. And you always need to make sure that you're available for these showings to take place. You just got to step out. I know it sounds like a harsh message to some because they don't want to get out of there, but you have to listen to this one. You have to make yourself available. The showings are gold. The last one, and one that I think is so important, is not to get too emotionally attached to this transaction. I understand. Home is home. You've created memories in this house. This is the house that you've lived in for the past 5, 10, 15, 30 years. And that's a serious, serious thing to anybody. Everybody's going to take them memories and take them serious and all that. But for this, you have to look at this as a business transaction. You have to remember, there are going to be people that come through your house. They're going to say bad things about the way you decorate. They're going to say that they don't like all types of stuff that you put time into in your backyard. You made it beautiful. You did some beautiful patio. People are trashing it. You're going to have people saying that your house is worth way less than you think it's worth. You just have to make sure that you don't take any of it personal. It's a business transaction for you. You're trying to walk away with the best dollar amount that you can in the end. You're trying to move on to your next home in the best position that you can, and you don't want to get too emotionally attached to anything going on during this process. I know it sounds easier said than done because honestly, it is difficult when you're talking about your home. So just make sure you're looking at it as a business decision. And in the end, you're going to have a smile on your face when you're in your new home and the transaction's over with. Don't let it be stressful to you. Don't get emotional about it. It's going to be all good in the end. So I hope that you found some of this valuable on what sellers should absolutely not do. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe if you haven't been here before. I look forward to talking to you guys the next time.